feel the same when you love what we hate. We lie, but we know we can't widen.
How to trust on God's validation. Hello friends, this is Yundel, and today's share is just about trusting God's validation. This is just a share from my own reading and of course from my own self-development. All through the years, we are busy that people validate us. But don't trust on people's validation. Trust on God's validation. This is not about religion. I am only sharing with you my spiritual lifestyle, how I survive life. Life has been hard, especially when there are people trying to validate you and judge you. Don't worry. God's validation is more important than other people's validation. I am sharing this with you to comfort yourself, to believe in yourself, and to believe in God. Trust God's validation and not people's validation on yourself. Yes, it's easy for us to be tempted to believe what people have to say to us, to believe that people say their own validation on our life. We are human. We are fast to believe to others people's things. But don't worry. Trust in the Lord. Trust in God, because God's validation is the most important thing you can do that can comfort you in your day-to-day life. Because if you are trusting people's validation, you feel depressed, you feel sorry for yourself, and you cannot move forward because of that certain validation. No. How to trust God's validation is about your faith and believe in Him. No matter what religion you have, don't think about that. Think and live in a spiritual lifestyle. Just believe that there is God. It's that enough that you can trust in His own validation of yourself. Why? Because He created you. He loves you. And He is the only one who truly loves you and will stand by you through thick and thin. God's validation is the most important thing you can hold on into your life in order for you to feel good with yourself, to be content and happy with your life. Don't trust other people's validation because it can make you depressed. It can make you feel sorry for yourself. It can give you anxiety if you are depending on people's validation. But if you can trust in God's validation, you feel safe and secure that no matter how many mistakes you have done in your life, nothing to worry about, because He knows you, He loves you, and He will accept you no matter how many mistakes you have done in your life. We are all human and we all have our own weaknesses, and that God have accepted too, and that God knows that you can correct your mistakes. Therefore, no matter what, don't let other people's validation in yourself to feel sorry to yourself, to feel anxiety, or to feel depression about it. No, trust in God's validation always. You have to understand that when you allow people to define who you are, you're actually placing yourself in a prison of insecurity. It will hold you hostage by causing you to question your every decision and thought. Does this look good on me? Should I have said that? Should I get married? Since everyone thinks he or she is perfect for me, pretty soon you don't even trust your own gut's feelings. Why? Because you trust on people's validation. No, you have to trust in God's validation. It doesn't matter if it is friends, family, or even strangers. It's never a good idea to be controlled by what others do or think. You are not defined by people or circumstances, but by the person you choose to be. Looking to others as a measure of your self-worth will keep you on an emotional roller coaster. Yes, why? Because it gives you insecurity. The only one you should look for validation is God. In Thessalonians 2:4 tells us, our purpose is to please God, not people. He alone examines the motives of our hearts. God did not create you to change yourself into what others want you to be, whether that be parents, spouses, friends, or even your boss. Just be you, be the person that God wants you to be, and nothing more. The only way to do that is to listen to what God telling you, not everyone else. Most people today struggle with being themselves. There's so much fake in the world that people are living in the lie just to create an illusion that their lives are perfect. There's no perfect. Their energy is spent designing this facade or make others envious in their life when the truth is those photos or social media are photoshopped. They're actually sad and miserable. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. If you want to have a real joy, a real peace, and a real happiness in your life, choose to get your validation from God. You have a choice to make. Only God's validation you can trust. Yes, in 1 Samuel 16:7 says, but the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord sit not as man sit, for a man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh in the heart. No matter who you are, what you have been done wrong, God is looking onto your heart. Because it says in Proverbs 31:30, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall perish. You shall perish when you trust God's validation in your life. For me, in my own situation, when it comes to this matter, God's validation is the best we can use for our day-to-day life and not other people's validation. How? For me, in my own experience, prayer. Be humble with yourself. Be motivated to always trust God and your instincts first. When you have prayed all these things, everything becomes easier for you to understand that no matter what, you don't need other people's approval. You don't need other people's validation. Trust in the Lord. Everything, you must take it to the Lord in prayer. Believe me, when you can do that, later on, you can fully trust God's validation. You have Him in your heart, and God sees your heart. He will not judge you. He will not forsake you. He will love you no matter what, and that you have to accept and embrace. If you are a Christian, why should you trust people's validation? No, trust in God's validation through your prayers, actions, meditation, praising and coming to Him, communicating with Him daily is a huge thing you can develop to keep trusting in God's validation. This is Yunda. Thank you for listening. Thank you for dropping here in my channel. I am very grateful to each and every one of you supporting here in my life journey. I love you all, and bye-bye.
Like we feel the same